Hello and welcome to Knitting Books etc. My name is Christina and today is Tuesday and I'm here to answer a tag, the 20 Bookish Questions tag. I have some other tags to answer, but this is an easy one. And quick update, I've been to hospital last week. Yesterday, it's a week from yesterday. I had actually 3 surgeries and I am recovering quite well, but my energy level hasn't been very high. So I am doing a lazy tag, which at least for me seems to be easier to answer. I don't have to think much because thinking makes my elbow hurt. Okay, so I was tagged by Mark from A Book Time with Elvis, which is one of my favorite channels here in BookTube. And the tag was it's an original tag by the book. Okay, so the 20 Bookish Questions tag. How many books is too many in a book series? That's the first question, and I have no idea. As long as the series will finish before the author dies, as again I said, that's my trauma, it's okay. How do you feel about cliffhangers? Again, I already said here, I only read finished series. So I don't mind about cliffhangers because I have the book, so it's actually a good way of prompting me to continue the series. Hardback or paperback? Well, I like beautiful hardbacks, but normally I buy paperbacks not only because they are less expensive, but also they are also perhaps easier to read, for example, if I'm reading in bed or something like that. Favorite book? I normally answer that my favorite book is Emma by Jane Austen, and I love many books, but that's my immediate answer that comes to my mind. So least favorite book? I find this question a little bit strange. I don't have a least favorite book. I might sometimes, I don't know. I tend not to read books that I will dislike. Again, I normally read classics. I read books that I am, at least I suspect that I am going to like and reread several times. I like to read books which I can for sure reread. I don't know. I remember once I read a book. It was one of those free Kindle books. Sometimes I have those, and they are the great majority are fluffy historical romance, and some are quite bad, but normally I don't read them. So if I see that they are very bad, I don't read them. Unfortunately, I remember that once there was one which might have been a novella because I finished it, and I remember that when I ended, I said, this must be the worst book I've ever read. So unfortunately, I don't know. I hope I won't be tempted to read it again because I forgot which book it was. But normally, again, I don't tend to read books that I won't like. Love triangles, yes or no? I don't like them much. They tire me, and sometimes they cause me some anxiety. So no, not my favorite thing. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. So I've mentioned it before in the tags, and it's the Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I was expecting great things because everyone says that book is so great. Everyone I know gives them 5 stars, but I got to the perhaps halfway through and I gave up. I don't even have it anymore. A book you're currently reading. So I am currently reading too many books. I am trying to cull my what I mean is I'm trying not to add to my current list because I want to finish those. But I have just finished reading a bit on the Adam Bede by George Eliot, which is a book full of characters which are so good. I don't know, I am enjoying that book a lot. Everything about it, the setting of the book, the characters. I love Adam Bede a lot. Last book you recommended to someone, I think that it was The Divine Comedy, which I am reading. I am halfway through Paradise now. Through Purgatorio. And I remember that telling my sister that it's such a great book. I don't know why it took me so long to start. I started just because I think that I might haven't read it before because it's an Italian book and I have always distrusted translations. So recently I was in a bookshop near my house and I found this translation which has the Italian text on one side and the translation on the other side. I can show you, I have it actually, I have Purgatorio here in my nightstand and here it's this version here, the Alma Classics is the publisher. And so I found in that bookshop, I found Inferno and I bought it and I started reading it and it blew me away. So it's fantastic. It's one of my desert island books and it's a book that I can see me reading and in a loop. So always reading it. Might find other translations then and things like that and go deeper and find all the connections to other books, but I recommend this to everyone. Anyhow, okay, let's go. Oldest book you've read, I have publication date, I have no idea, but I was thinking a bit about this till my elbows start aching and my ankle. So I think that maybe, is it the Bible, the oldest book I read? I don't know, might be. And newest book you've read. So again, as I said, I normally read classics, so I don't read many new books, but recently, last week when I went to hospital, I took with me one audiobook which I am trying to get into because I am one of those envious people that want what the others have, and so I see lots of people mentioning Sanderson, his books, and I saw one video by, I think it's George Leperche, I don't know, and I think it was his channel, and he mentions that if you want to start with Sanderson, you should, a good way is to start with the Mistborn trilogy. So I bought the first audio book because I was going to be in hospital and it wouldn't be easy to read a physical book. Not that, but also I need it quick. So I bought the audiobook of The Last Empire and I started listening to it. I am not very far in because I really need to finish all the other books I have on hand. Also, I read the graphic novel adaptation by Tom L.A. Books that he did, a book about called Science and Faith. So that's a book written by two Italian professors, and Tom adapted it to a graphic novel. So he, in a way, produced the book, and of course, then a graphic designer did the drawings, but I took it with me in digital form, and I actually loved the book. It's a book I want then to reread. So I read it in 2 sittings, but now I want to reread it and reflect on it a bit more. So, favorite author? Again, my quick answer might be Jane Austen. I am one of those people that love Jane Austen. I also love Tolkien. I love many authors, to be sure, but I like Dickens. Recently I discovered Trollope. I like George Eliot. I like Thomas Hardy. I like many authors, but Jane Austen is a book that I read. It's her books I read almost every year. I also love Sherlock Holmes stories, so I read them very frequently. So, okay. A book you dislike that everyone seems... Sorry. Buying books or borrowing books. So because I live in Portugal and I read mainly English literature, or even the translations. When I cannot read the original, I prefer the English translations. So I have to buy books because libraries here don't have books in English, unfortunately. Or they sometimes they do, but it's a very, very tiny selection. So that's why I buy them. Also, because again, I read only books that I know I'm going to like very much and reread forever and ever. I like to have them. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. I mentioned already n times, but again, The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. Bookmarks or dog ears? Again, I cringe when I hear the term dog ear because it's horrifying for me to do that to a book page. A book you can always reread, for example, The Divine Comedy I just mentioned. Jane Austen books I reread often. Sherlock Holmes stories, which some people might find strange because they are mysteries, and so now the mystery is gone because I already know how the story ends, but the stories are, I like them a lot, so I can always reread them. Can you read while hearing music? No, I cannot. I hate background music. I can only hear music when I'm hearing music. I mean, when I want to hear music or to listen to music, that's what I'm doing. I'm listening to music. I may, for example, I like classical music. I may put some classic music on and sit down to listen to it, and I may be able to knit a simple thing while I'm listening to that music. But again, I am actively listening to the music. Background sounds, background music tires my brain immensely. It's the same as when two people are trying to speak at the same time. I cannot hear two people speaking at the same time. My head becomes exhausted. So I read, so again, never background music ever. Even if I am cleaning the house, I cannot stand music as a background thing. One POV or multiple POVs, point of views, if it works, one or multiple. I like different things when I read. So, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Well, it depends. Again, I have these massive books I'm reading now, and because I'm reading too many, and they are all very big, it's taking me a long time. But also, one of the reasons why it's taking me a long time, it's because I sometimes pick a book. For example, the other day I received a book which I haven't shown it yet. I have a small pile of books which I want to show you, a recent haul. But one of the books was sent to me by Kate Howe from the BookTube channel, Kate Howe, which was Brother Catfell Mystery by Alice Peters. And I opened the book, I grabbed it. So I opened the box, I looked at the book, I started reading it, and then I read the rest in the following day. So 2 sittings, because it was a 300 and something pages book. So it happened with Agnes Grey, for example, again a short book. So Slaughterhouse-Five. So all those books which are smaller, I tend to read them in 1 or 2 sittings. The longer ones, especially if I'm reading half a dozen of longer ones, of course, it will take me more time. Who do you tag? Oh, I forgot to prepare for this, so I have no idea who. I will tag Tom L.A. Books, Spinelli Speaks, I'm trying to find middle of the book March. Okay, maybe they have already answered this, but feel free, everyone who hasn't, to answer this tag. And so hopefully I will be able to film again soon. I'd like to talk about the books I've been reading, and also the new acquisitions. But for now, I'll stop here and see you next time. Bye.